Hi guys, how we going? So I've just come back from a run. Jeff gave me this lovely stuff. Of course, defending Elvis with a loving heart, and the hat as well. Thank you, Jeff. I think it's got a heart on it as well. Jeff, I do appreciate this. You sending me these things, Jeff. You're a good friend of mine. You're very helpful. Right, this is part two. I'm going to be straight with you guys. I woke up with a when something happens and it affects everything. You can't sleep, it makes you uncomfortable, you wake up, you've got this tight twist in your gut. That is how I felt after watching this interview. Now I want to make it very clear. First of all, it's part two. Thank you for joining me. Welcome to Defending Elvis. I want to make it very clear to you guys, I'm not against those Elvis girls. They're lovely. Their channel is lovely. Now, I am against their choice of who they interview, meaning David Stanley, one of the biggest trashers ever of Elvis. Completely against it. I do think there's a responsibility with YouTube channels on who they give a platform, who they give a voice, and who they interview, especially if they've trashed Elvis, whether they're family or not, or ex-stepbrothers or stepbrothers, if you want to call them that. He likes to call himself a brother, which he is not. Now, there is a responsibility with YouTube channels on what goes on, who they interview. There is. Now, of course, freedom of speech. People can do what they want. Let's move over a little bit, so I'm a bit more central. People can do what they want. I am not judge and jury. People keep saying that late. I've been seeing that lately. I'm a Defending Elvis channel that this is how it is at the moment. I don't even have to search out my topics now. They're coming to me. I'll be honest with you, 90% of the topics I do fall in my lap, come to me, get sent to me by many people, not just Team Elvis, but you'll be surprised, I get private emails sent to me. Can you do this? Can you do that? This is how I am with my topics. I only will do a topic that feels right for me. Not all the topics are right for me. Many topics get sent to me and I just can't do them. And it's because I don't get a feeling for them. It has to come from my heart. Yeah. So, an example, I did a video yesterday of Trump. Because to me, it's like, wow, the president of America. Bearing in mind, I'm English. I'm in the UK. I haven't watched the news for 3 years. I don't watch politics. I have no idea about Trump. I have no idea. I don't follow the news. I'm just an Elvis defending channel that was sent. Quite a few of you messaged me saying, oh, the president of America is visiting Graceland, which I couldn't believe. I knew he was a fan because I've seen the video where he does the honorary award, whatever it is. And even that's going to be a topic, guys, because Donna Presley is going to discuss that. Donna Presley has posted a video. I haven't watched it yet. She's disappointed that why can't a family member or family members, like Donna, like I think she mentions Patsy and she mentions Billy Smith. Blood relatives should be meeting Trump at Elvis's home. So Donna, even though I think, of course, Elvis, a president visiting his home for Elvis would have been a big deal. Yeah. I think Elvis kept his political views to himself. I'm sure he had strong views because he loved his country, but he still kept it to himself. As he always said, I'm just an entertainer. I'll keep my views to myself. Yeah. I can't. I'm not Elvis, but I personally think Elvis would be honored that a president visited his home before or after death. And this isn't a Trump thing. I'm not interested in Trump. No politics are allowed on my show. I will delete any politics. I'm not interested in Trump topics. Doesn't interest me. This is just about any president visiting Elvis's home and being an Elvis fan. That to me was a big deal. So when people were telling me, I was like, wow, bloody hell. I'm going to cover that, yeah? And I will be reviewing the whole visit from the president, yeah? And I've made it very clear on my show, please do not post any politics. I will be deleting them. We are an Elvis show, and we do Elvis-related topics. Anything that relates back to Elvis, yeah? It could be anything, yeah? Like yesterday, we were talking about the Beatles. Elvis met the Beatles. Get it? As long as it relates back to Elvis, I love to do it, yeah? So I had this sort of... I was gutted. There's a few reasons I was gutted about David Stanley being given a platform. I mean, don't forget, recently, guys, we've been reviewing some of this book, only a very small part of this book, Elvis Precious Memories, which is a disgusting Stanley book. Ricky, Billy, Dave, and Dee Stanley are all in this book. It's disgusting. Yes, as usual, the trashers do good, then bad, good, then bad. It's always about money. They don't care about Elvis's dignity and his reputation being damaged. It's just money, money, money. They get a bit of fame, you know, their 15 minutes of fame. There is no regard for Lisa Marie's feelings, how she would have felt when that was going on. And that book was around 1980, actually written in 1979. So these people, the Stanleys, were very quick off the cuff to get some money in within a couple of years of Elvis dying. Okay? Now, we've all heard the rumours. People are very worried about what went on with the Stanleys leading up to Elvis's death. Okay? We'll put that to one side. It's just been brought up. So we played part one. In part one, David Stanley does mention that he had been blamed for the death of Elvis. He brings up Dr. Nick. He says Vernon was paranoid. You know, pretty shocking stuff. Okay? He also says, he briefly brings up the Geraldo show where his mum briefly, you know, talks about, his mum was on the Geraldo show and said the most disgusting things about her and about Gladys and Elvis. Not true, disgusting. So the first thing I'm going to say is I like this YouTube channel. They do brilliant work. It's a great show. I recommend you subscribe to them. I like these girls. But as I said in part one, I think these girls were not expecting what was coming. Now, they asked loads of questions. They obviously had done some preparation and had a lot of questions to ask. I personally think these girls have been used. I think David Stanley sees an opportunity to go on a YouTube channel and promote his book, Surviving Elvis. Yes, Surviving Elvis. My chance to write a tell-all book in 2026 when we all know that tell-all books are a bit in the past now. When was the last time a tell-all book was written? Put it in the comments, guys. It was the 90s. My memory is that the last time tell-all books was written was in the 90s, you know, trashing Elvis. Books that just didn't care about Elvis's feelings, his daughter's feelings, just did it for cash, for fame, for their moment of glory, so they could go around the world having their asses kissed by whoever, fans, news companies, TV companies, tabloids, magazines. Yeah, the tell-all book era has sort of moved on, hasn't it? Yeah? So in 2026, David Stanley sees an opportunity to do a trash tell-all book and call it Surviving Elvis. He picks a headline-grabbing title. Oh, I survived Elvis. And not just me. Everyone had to survive Elvis. Blaming Elvis for everything. A disgusting book. We read out the profile that he posted on Facebook, which was deleted. I can tell that he's watched me. From watching the full interview, he does refer to, those YouTube channels, you know, think they can talk about Elvis. They didn't even know him. They didn't even meet him. They didn't live with him. They didn't live the life. As if that means we can't have an opinion. Is it as if we can't expose the trashing of the people that were close to Elvis. Remember, I've always said this. The people that were closest to Elvis trashed him the most, stabbed him in the back the most, double-crossed him the most, betrayed him. The people Elvis loved, was good to, are the ones who hurt him the most before and after death, mainly. For money. Fistful of dollars. Get it? All right, guys, sorry, I had to start there. God, honestly, guys, you do what you want, but I personally think you should be commenting on this particular interview in defense of Elvis and Lisa. Not against the girls. I love the girls. The girls are lovely. Against this man and what he is saying. Yeah, this man taking his opportunity to write another trash book. He wants success. He wants money. There's only one reason he's doing that book, and it is not to set the record straight or to tell the truth. It is to make money. It is so predictable. This man who is now out of the blue, we've known this was coming. I'm on about the book, Surviving Elvis, has now decided he's back in the race. He's back in the game. Let's revive trash books, tell-all books, and it's going to be him. And he's hoping to have the success of a book like this, Elvis and Me, Priscilla's trashy book. He's clearly a Priscilla lover. Clearly a Priscilla lover. He's clearly friends with all of the trashers that trashed and stabbed Elvis in the back. The family members that trashed Elvis. So I wish people just wouldn't interview people like this. I can't tell people what to do. Of course, I run a Defending Elvis channel. So I come at it from that angle. I've got Team Elvis, yeah? And so this is like a horror movie for me. It's like a car crash. It brings up all the every single disgusting thing that has ever been said about Elvis is in this interview. Yeah, this isn't even about things whether or not they're true or not. This is just why. Why bring them up? Why discuss them? Why write another tell-all trashy book that blames Elvis for everything, that discusses every negative thing that has ever been said about him? Everything. Suicide. You know, intimacy with his own mother. It's all bullshit. It's all lies. David Stanley sees an opportunity to make some money, and he says, right, let's do a tell-all book. I got a chance to join this show. This show is a big show, a big channel, a big platform for him, and he jumps on there and he makes the most of his 2 hours of, in my opinion, almost all of it, trashing Elvis. How many people will watch this show and go, oh my God, what was Elvis like? The way he describes the drugs is absolutely disgusting. Do you know what? I keep repeating this. This isn't about trying to get to the truth. This is about why. Why take away Elvis's dignity? Why? He was your friend. You loved him. He was your ex-stepbrother. You love him and you trash him. How would Elvis feel about that interview? All the disgusting things you say. How would he feel about it? How would Lisa Marie feel about that interview? I warn you guys, anybody that watches that interview, you are going to be sick to your stomach. If you are a genuine Elvis fan, you are going to be sick to your stomach. I do think these girls were out of their depth. I don't think they were prepared for the type of conversation and answers they were going to get. I know they mean well. They probably see it as a bit of a coup, being able to interview one of Elvis's ex-stepbrothers. You know, obviously Billy Stanley's been on their show. That's where he announced that he had changed his last name to Presley, which is shocking as well, by the way. These people should not be getting a platform to say these disgusting things about Elvis. Private means private. Elvis shouldn't be getting his private sexual details, his private health problems, his private, you can call it drugs if you want, his problems with prescription medication. I'm not whitewashing Elvis. I know it was tough for Elvis. He was very sick, over-medicated, many problems, chronic insomnia, overwork. He had a temper. I know Elvis liked the ladies. I'm not stupid. I'm not trying to paint Elvis as an angel. He was human. We keep getting reminded of that. But actually, he tries to paint him as an angel. This is how crazy this this guy in the way that he was talking. Okay, let me just say this to you guys. He even said that Elvis can part the clouds. That Elvis can part the clouds. You know, Elvis sat there in a car, I think he says, and Elvis did that, and the clouds parted. Come on. As soon as he said that, I have heard that story said a few times, okay? Of course it's not true. Of course Elvis can't part the bloody clouds. As we keep getting reminded, he's a human. As soon as he starts saying things like that, and he starts talking about Priscilla in this, he starts blaming Elvis for everything as if Priscilla was a perfect angel. No mention of her unfaithfulness, what she was up to with men, financially, with money, her secret yearning for fame and fortune. No, everything was Elvis's fault. He talks about Priscilla like she was a prisoner. All she had to do was leave. David Stanley, all Priscilla had to do was leave. Go live with her parents. No, she chose to stay. She was no prisoner. Elvis was bloody good to her. When she moved in with Elvis, he was a rock and roll superstar. He was a movie star. What did she expect? What did she expect? Elvis lived as a single man for the first 3-4 years. He was with her, and then eventually they get engaged. I've always believed Elvis was faithful during the pregnancy and when Lisa was born. I've always felt that. And then very quickly, Priscilla was unfaithful with the dance instructor, with Mike Stone. No mention of it in this show. You just blame Elvis. You paint Priscilla out to be this perfect angel that did nothing wrong. You say, oh yeah, she managed to escape the clutches of Elvis. Such bullshit. Complete rubbish. They both ruined that marriage. Of course I know Elvis was unfaithful and lived like a single man as well. I know Elvis had a problem with being overprescribed, overtaking his tablets, his pills. Call them drugs if you want. But he was also very sick. I still say, why? Why go on a YouTube channel that's going to be watched by thousands of people and trash the man you say you love? I can tell you why. For money, for fame. You know, wherever you go, you get your ass kissed because you once knew Elvis. You spent that time with Elvis. That is what this is all about. Fame and fortune. You love the attention. And then you basically insult Elvis fans by saying you didn't know him. You didn't live the life. You have no right to talk about him, which is exactly what your brother said. Billy Stanley. Billy Stanley, who called me a clown just because I defend Elvis. That one. Billy Stanley, who was talking about Elvis shagging his ex-wife. That one. The bunch, all of you Stanleys are ashamed to Elvis. All of you. Dee, Rick, Dave, Billy. Shame on all of you. You use the excuse that because you were there and you lived the life and you knew him, you spent time with him because he was good to you, because he gave you an amazing life. You use it to trash him, to stab him in the back. This whole interview is a stab in the back for Elvis. No way would Elvis want this interview to be done. Once you listen, anyone watching me now, when you listen to this interview, you are going to feel sick. And that book is a disgusting book that is about to come out, Surviving Elvis. And it is just another attempt to create a trash book, a tell-all book. And I'm telling you now, mate, you ain't going to sell that many. It isn't 1980s. It isn't 1990s. The time for Elvis trash books selling millions of copies is over. You're not going to get rich quick. You're very lucky that Westgate kisses your ass and treats people like you and Priscilla and Linda Thompson like they're something special. You're not. You've all trashed Elvis. You're a bunch of double-crossing backstabbers. Elvis deserved much better friends than you. Much better. Elvis 100% did not deserve the way he's being treated. I'm sickened by all of you. Now, everything I say is for entertainment purposes, just an opinion. We're a discussion on YouTube. Look, I'm pretty hard-hitting, guys. I'm pretty shocking. I'm upset with these people. I'm a fan of Elvis. I love Elvis. I've loved Elvis my whole life. In fact, the majority of fans of Elvis that have loved him since the 60s, 70s, have loved Elvis their whole lives. Elvis changed their lives, transformed their lives. When they discovered Elvis, they were changed forever, and they'll take it with them to the day they die. That's how much Elvis impacted people one-on-one, as well as changing the world. Right, let's play some of this interview, guys. I just want to say that to those Elvis girls, if you watch my show, I've got nothing against you. I think you're lovely. I think your show is lovely. I encourage people to subscribe to their show. This was a mistake. In my opinion, just my opinion, you shouldn't be interviewing disgusting people like Dave Stanley. You shouldn't be holding people on a pedestal like they're special or important when they spent their lives trashing Elvis. He even said Elvis committed suicide. He basically says it here. His mum said Elvis had intimacy with his mum. And he brings it up in this interview. He says many things in this interview. He even tries to take away Elvis fans' right to defend him because they didn't know him. 99.9% of fans never knew Elvis and were never going to meet him. And I want to add this. Being family is exactly why you don't trash him. You don't use and abuse him. You don't stab him in the back for money. You don't betray him and share his private life. Private means private. Honestly, I am so disgusted by this interview. Now, let's just go back a little bit. And let's just see what is said. We're going to stop and start. I'm not sure how much of it I'm going to do. Probably about 20 minutes at a time. We're going to have to do this over a few episodes. Okay, guys? I want to remind people, I'm not against those Elvis girls. They are lovely. Their channel is excellent. Please subscribe to it. But they should not be giving someone like this, a disgusting man like this, a platform to trash Elvis publicly for money.
Out of grace as fast as you moved in.
It's like a culture shock, you know?
Oh, yeah. I mean, a week after Elvis said, I'm at the airport fielding small planes. I'm fielding a plane. Next to me is the plane I used to fly on. I mean, everything was gone. And then we felt totally abandoned. Vernon was just, you know, he was gone after Elvis died. I mean, there was just no life in him whatsoever. He's all paranoid. Who killed Elvis? And did David kill Elvis? Did Nick kill Elvis? Did, you know, who killed him? And all that was coming in. And that was hard on.
Don't forget, Donna Presley has done a video. All of the Presleys thought there was foul play in the death of Elvis. And the Stanley's name has been brought up many times. Just an opinion, guys. Just sharing an opinion. No fact. Nothing I say is truth. It's just an entertainment show on YouTube.
Me, because I'm trying to mourn and miss my brother. Yeah, I mean, my name's been...
He's not your brother. He was never your brother.
Thrown around the hat of killing somebody, but, you know, especially Elvis. And so, as time went on in 79 and 80...
and may I add, nobody treats a brother like this interview, like the trash books. This is his 5th book coming up. And the interviews I have watched on YouTube from the 80s, 90s, noughties, even I think even late 70s are disgusting. Rick, Dave, disgusting interviews about Elvis.
When the whole Geraldo thing came about Elvis and medications, I made a decision right then. I'm a history keeper. I'm a flame guy that carries the flame. I'm gonna tell us.
Bullshit. You're a moneymaker. You are a moneymaker. This is all about money and attention, and that you're a little bit of fame because you get your ass kissed because you once knew Elvis.
Sort of like I saw it. And like you said earlier, all of us have made our mistakes. We've all been broken vessels. We've all got something wrong with us.
Now, please, see, every time he speaks, see through it. See through it. There's an agenda here. There is an agenda. I personally think there's a lot of jealousy coming from Dave Stanley towards Elvis. Even revenge.
Let's thank God for the grace of God. But I came
don't accept you using religion to trash your brother.
Out that night, Ricky and I both, and we took criticism. And the world didn't want to hear about Elvis doing drugs, but yes, they did. They wanted to know everything.
Rubbish. In the 80s and 90s, there was a massive thirst for trash from anybody. The tabloids, the magazines, the news companies were offering large amounts of money to trash any well-known celebrity. So, the world did want to know, but doesn't that just make it all the more sad? And why does it have to be family that take the money, take the payday.
And it turned out I got beat up pretty good by Memphis Mafia, Priscilla, the doctors, because, you know, one night I was watching TV, current affair, Dr. Nick says it was David Stanley who killed Elvis Presley. Now, psychologically,
Well, I've heard, you know, just telling you what I've heard things being said about Rick and Dave. Yeah. So let's keep going, guys.
go back to when I first moved to the Graceland at 4 years old. Now you're telling me I killed him? That's surviving Graceland.
Yeah. So lucky you that you moved. Did he say 4 years old? Lucky you that Elvis came to the rescue and Vernon and took you away from a boarding home where you had basically been abandoned. And I said it on the last show. If Dee, your mother, who had not have met Vernon, what would have happened? How would your life have turned out? Let's keep going, guys.
Surviving Elvis. So I've just kept my...
You know how I feel about the title Surviving Elvis. It is a disgusting tell-all book title. You are trying to recreate another tell-all book, a trash book, for money.
You know, what's about me is just told the truth. I don't talk about Elvis's medication to entertain anybody. I talk about Elvis's medication.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Every time you talk about Elvis's medication, whether it's at Westgate or in TV interviews, you've been doing it for 30 years. You do it for money, for attention, for your bit of fame, to feel important, for your ego, to have your ass kissed. So stop waffling.
Medication to educate somebody.
You're trying to educate people about drugs in the name of Elvis.
I use my platform as Elvis's brother that opens doors that nobody else can open for a purpose of helping people. You know,
Dave Stanley, do you really think the public are that stupid? Do you really think that? Yeah. So Elvis is the only name that can be used to help people that have drug addiction problems. Yeah. Yeah. In the name of Elvis, the legend who changed the world, the most gifted man in the world, the most beautiful man that ever lived. Let's talk about drugs every week for 30 years. Well done, Dave. You're such a good brother.
I have the Raise on Rock Foundation. We raise money for halfway houses and junkies and people who are in need. I learned that from Elvis, giving, always giving. But the years after Elvis died were very difficult. Vernon died, the will's going into all kinds of submissions, and Priscilla, the estate was arguing. Now we're up to today, and Priscilla, the estate, rumors are going at it. Somebody said, well, what do you think? Honestly, I don't care. Lisa's daughter, Riley. I think she's a new breed. She's kind of a clean sheet after Elvis and Lisa. And I think she's going to do a great job of handling it. It's sad because I see Riley, I just go, she never knew him.
I think that's the only good thing I've heard him say. But even the she never knew him. You saying she never knew him. Remember the little ploy that we're hearing from the people that trashed Elvis, the Smiths, the Stanleys, the Memphis Mafia. The you didn't know him is the excuse to trash him. Is that what you're doing here, Dave? Let's keep going.
No, that's the one sad thing. It's just like...
It's so sad. She never knew the guy. But, you know, the Stanleys, they try to sweep us under the carpet. I don't know why, but I'm not going away. I mean, somebody says, how did Elvis feel about you? I know how he felt about me. I've been confident in it ever since the day I met him. I know what happened to him. I know how he...
Right, hang on a minute. I want to go into that a little bit. You know how Elvis felt about you. Now, you know how Elvis felt about you until he died. After he died, Elvis's opinion of you will be very different because you spent your life trashing him, sharing his private life for money, stabbing him in the back. How Elvis will think about you after that, after his death, is completely different than how he felt about you leading up to his death. And to be honest with you, I actually don't know how Elvis felt about you leading up to his death. I actually have no idea. Yeah. But after his death, he would be very disappointed in you. He would be disgusted in your double-crossing, backstabbing, Judas behavior. Let's just keep going.
He got depressed and how he got hurt by the book, by Red and Sunny. Priscilla even hurt him. It definitely hurt his ego. Other things hurt his life.
So he is gonna talk about this book and reveal just how upset Elvis was about this book. He even hints that because of this book, Elvis committed suicide and wouldn't go back on stage because of the embarrassment of this book. But remember, even though it's disgusting that he hints that Elvis committed suicide, which is not true and disgusting, he went on to write loads of trash books, and he is just announcing now he's going to do another trash book called Surviving Elvis. He knows how much this book upset Elvis. He knows, yeah? And he's been doing this in his 5th book. So instead of caring about Elvis's feelings, how he was gutted about this book, he goes on and spends the whole of his life trashing Elvis and writing books and tabloids and magazines and interviews and biographies and documentaries. I've seen many disgusting interviews with Dave and Rick and Dee Stanley. So you have good memories of watching Elvis, how upset he was because of that book that was written by Reb West, Sonny West and Dave Hebler. But then you just go and spend the whole of your life doing it. You really cared about Elvis's feelings, and you did it in front of Lisa Marie for 30 to 40 years. Shocking!
But everybody had to do what they had to do. When I hear about them attacking me or attacking Priscilla.
Right, so this is where I know he's been watching me. Don't forget, I've already been told that he watches me. The guy, Tommy, told me, but I've had a couple of people tell me now. And it's funny how Billy Stanley has referred to me a few times, calling me names and saying Elvis doesn't need defending and insulting, saying that Donna Presley shouldn't use the Presley name because her parents wouldn't like it, even though he had changed his name to Presley. This is Billy Stanley. So this is where I know he's talking about me. Now, I'm going to stand up for our right to defend Elvis, okay? To defend Lisa Marie's dignity, her father's dignity.
That's the one sad thing. It's just like,
It's so sad. She never knew the guy. But, the Stanleys, they tried to sweep us under the carpet. I don't know why.
They threw you under the carpet and you don't know why, even though you all spent your life trashing him. And your mum said that Elvis had intimacy with his mother on the Geraldo show. And you wonder why you were thrown under the carpet. Are you serious?
But I'm not going away. I mean, somebody says, how did Elvis feel about you? I know how he felt about me. I've been confident in it ever since the day I met him.
I've answered that point.
I know what happened to him. I know how he got depressed and how he got hurt by the book, by Red and Sunny.
And how he could part the clouds with his hands. Elvis could sit there and part the clouds. Couldn't he, David?
Priscilla even hurt him. It definitely hurt his ego. Other things.
So part of what we're going to see, guys, he is a Priscilla ass kisser, a Priscilla lover. We know he went skinny dipping with Priscilla after Vernon's funeral. There's even alleged info that he may have even had intimacy with Priscilla, Elvis's ex-wife. How would Elvis feel about this man being intimate with his ex-wife, Elvis's ex-wife? How would he feel about that? He'd be fine with it, wouldn't he? Just like he'd be fine with the trash books. This is how ridiculous this whole situation is. Everything I say is for entertainment purposes, not fact. It's an opinion sharing discussion program on YouTube. Nothing I say is fact.
Hurt his life. But everybody had to do what they had to do. When I hear about them attacking me or attacking Priscilla or attacking somebody else, I just want to look at them and say, shut up. You have no idea what you're talking about. You're in some dream fantasy world.
No, I'm not going to shut up, and I'm not in a dream fantasy world. Finally, Elvis gets a voice where he can defend himself against idiots like you who have spent your life trashing him, making excuses for your behavior. I think you are going to go on to say to the whole shut up bit is going to be repeated a couple of times, and then you'll come out with the usual crap that the trashers do. Just in case you don't know, you are a trasher, and I call all the people that stabbed Elvis in the back, I call them trashers. In case you don't know, you're one of them. You're probably the lead trasher. I'm going to give you the crown of lead trasher. You, David Stanley. Yeah? Remember, we are entitled to our opinions. We can share our opinions. freedom of speech. Yeah, we're allowed to say what we want. We're not going to be judge and jury and tell each other what to say on shows. Right. Let's go back and press play. I'm being sarcastic because I see through this man. I see completely through this man. I see through the bullshit. These three young ladies might be falling for it and might put him on a pedestal like he's something special because he once knew Elvis. I see through it. This is a money-making attempt to create a tell-all book. That's all it is. He wants success for his book, Surviving Elvis, because he had to survive Elvis. How does anyone who was given the life he was given from a child, age 4, I think he said, and his two brothers, yeah, were given a dream life, a dream existence for decades, living at Gracelands. And then he says, we had to survive Elvis. Does anyone fall for this, guys?
Thinking you're the biggest Elvis fan in the world, and you're nothing but a freaking idiot. Because you heard.
There we are, freaking idiot. So we are freaking idiots because we want to defend Elvis. We need to shut up. David Stanley, you are the one that needs to shut up. You should have shut your mouth 40 years ago, mate. Too much of this for this. I repeat, too much of this, for Wonga, for money, for fame, for attention. And the Elvis fans that have kissed your ass in the last 30 to 40 years, shame on them. You are a trasher, a betrayer of Elvis.
Rumors are going at it. Somebody said, well, what do you think? Honestly, I don't care. Lisa's daughter, Riley. I think she's a new breed.
So let's listen to how he talks about people that defend Elvis, that say that expose his wrongdoing, stabbing Elvis in the back.
Kind of a clean sheet after Elvis and Lisa. And I think she's going to do a great job of handling it. It's sad because I see Riley, she never knew him.
I know. That's the one sad.
Right, sorry I keep repeating it, but let's do it, guys. See, I worry about these three girls, that they're out of their depth. They're not expecting these things that he's going to go on to say that are really embarrassing and degrading for Elvis. These things that he says takes away Elvis's dignity. Yeah. I'm so glad that Lisa doesn't have to witness this
thing. It's just like
it's so sad. She never knew the guy. But
But remember, Riley, Philly, and Harper are still here.
Stanley's, they're trying to sweep us under the carpet.
Obviously, Donna Prezi is gutted about this.
I don't know why, but I'm not going away. I mean, somebody says that Elvis.
You don't know why.
Feel about you. I know how he felt about me. I've been confident in it ever since the day I met him. I know what happened to him. I know how he got depressed and how he got hurt by the book, by Red and Sunny. Priscilla even hurt him. It definitely hurt his ego. Other things hurt his life. But everybody had to do what they had to do. When I hear about them...
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Let's carry on.
Attacking me or attacking Priscilla or attacking somebody else, I just want to look at them and say, shut up. You have no idea what you're talking about. You're in some dream fantasy world thinking you're the biggest Elvis fan in the world, and you're not.
Thinking you're the biggest Elvis fan in the world. How about we are just defenders? We are just defenders. And we're fed up that the people closest to him that he trusted, including family, ex-wife, ex-girlfriend, good friends, Memphis Mafia, trust him the most.
About a freaking idiot. Because you heard something that somebody might like and you carry that down the line.
So we heard something. I'm speaking on behalf of defenders now. I think he's talking about me, but so we heard something that people might like and we want to carry it on down the road. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? If I speak for myself, 99% of my topics are being thrust at me, put to me, given to me, sent to me. Me reacting to this, is me standing up for Elvis. If I don't stand up for Elvis, if I don't react to this show, this disgusting show, your attempt to try and get people to buy your book, Surviving Elvis, who's going to do it? We do it. My group does it, Team Elvis. Donna Prezi does it. Who else? Who else?
And Elvis cannot be a junkie. Elvis cannot be on drugs. That'd make him imperfect.
I just want to say this because I'm fed up with this being said by the trashers We know Elvis is not perfect. We know he had a problem with prescription medication. He overtook it, even self-medicated. There were loads of side effects. We also know he was very sick, very unwell. We also know he had chronic insomnia. There are books now proving Elvis was extremely sick, but we know he liked the ladies. But why does that have to be shared by you in books and biographies, documentaries? His private life, his private sex details, his private health problems. Why does it have to be shared by you, who he trusted? You that say you love him because he was your brother. And we know the answer: for money. For money. And this is why the fans are fed up. The fans are fed up. The fans are fed up with all these trashy books. They're fed up with you guys making money from Elvis by trashing him.
Well, we need to be reminded how imperfect we all are. It can happen to any of us. And so
Oh, that's okay then. So let's write some books then. Trash Elvis.
in the book, I'm very adamant about talking about Dr. Nick. David Stanley quote says, Dr. Nick killed Elvis Presley. 10,000 sleeping pills in 6 months. Then Dr. Gunham, Dr. Gordon, all these guys giving Elvis medications. Elvis had a little more trust in doctors that cost him his life.
Oh, God. Do you know how many times I've heard David Stanley go, Elvis had a little boy trust in doctors, cost him his life. He turned to his doctors because he was sick. Does that make him a little boy? If I'm sick, I turn to my doctor. I'm sure you do. Anybody. It could be 2026. It could be 1950. You get sick, you turn to your doctor and you trust your doctor. I trust my doctor. Doesn't make me a little boy. Elvis turned to his doctors. He had more than one. Doesn't make him a little boy. You belittle him by saying he had a little boy trusting doctors. What you really mean is Elvis turned to his doctors because he was in pain, discomfort, couldn't sleep, serious health problems. I agree. He abused his medication. Fair enough. But calling it him by using the words little boy trust, you embarrass him. You humiliate him. How would Elvis feel listening to you say that Elvis had a little boy trust in his doctors? You manipulate your words to try and big yourself up and make Elvis the small person. It's a very insulting way. It's a very insulting way to talk about your brother, mate. Your brother.
He didn't know that it was that powerful, but he started to get it together on combinations of cocktails, and he made a bad mix that night, and that's what happened to him.
Oh, he'd be so glad that you said that. And now you're going to describe how he committed suicide. He had a cocktail of drugs and intentionally committed suicide while his daughter was in the room next door and his girlfriend was in the bedroom. He committed suicide, even though that night he had spent the whole night planning his tour the next day. Obviously, he went to the dentist, played racquetball, all the rest of it. We all know what happened. Okay? But no, let's keep David Stanley happy. Elvis planned his suicide and was going to be and knew that he was going to be found dead by his daughter, who was a child, because you say so. Good old Dave Stanley, who says that Elvis could part the clouds with his hands. He could sit in a car and part the clouds. Does anyone fall for this?
Now, does that mean he's a jerk and I should hate him? And how could you say that? Listen, if you're going to love somebody, love them unconditionally. I mean, my kids, they've made mistakes, but I've loved them through it. And I'll always be that way. But so the bad rap, Priscilla gets a bad rap. If you say Priscilla's movie is terrible, it's horrible stuff, shut up.
So guys, right, okay, so we're going to let him do the Priscilla bit, then we're going to have to come back for a part 3. We're going to have to do this in 3 or 4 parts. All of it disgusts me. He's now going to stick up for Priscilla. Remember, it's alleged that him and Priscilla were more than friends. We know about the skinny dipping at his apartment. Even Billy Stanley confirmed that to me. I asked him myself. Yeah. So this is when he exposes himself even more when he tries to blame Elvis for everything that went wrong in that marriage between him and Priscilla. I agree they were both to blame for that marriage going wrong. Yeah. I've never believed the fact that Priscilla was controlled and groomed. She could have left at any point, but she also had a very busy, interesting life whilst Elvis was away, whether it's making the movies or doing the tours later. Yeah, she was up to no good as well. We know that she was seeing the dance instructor. She's admitted it. Page 262. She calls him Mark. We know that she was secretly seeing Mike Stone for a year around 1971-ish. So no, Priscilla isn't the innocent angel that he's now going to go on to make her out to be. Yeah, I do accept Elvis was no angel. He was up to no good as well with the ladies. I fully accept that. But they both were. But he will put Priscilla on a pedestal and say, oh, poor Priscilla, she managed to get out. She managed to break away. I would say Elvis is the one that managed to break away. But could you imagine how Elvis felt when he caught her shagging the dance instructor? I mean, sorry, the karate champion, Mike Stone, who was Elvis's acquaintance. Elvis respected Mike Stone. The karate world was really important to Elvis. And she chose a karate champion to humiliate Elvis. Of course, his pride was dented. He was a man in the 70s. Let's listen to him, how he defends Priscilla. He's obviously got a crush on Priscilla. He's obviously got a very soft spot for Priscilla. He's a Priscilla lover.
Love them unconditionally. I mean, my kids, they've made mistakes, but I've loved them through it. And I'll always be that way. But so the bad rap, Priscilla gets a bad rap. You see Priscilla's...
Priscilla gets a bad rap. Oh my God. Have you even, David Stanley, have you even bothered to do any research on the life that Priscilla had, what she was up to? Really, from the moment she met Elvis, we could discuss Child Bride, to the moment she was seeing Mike Stone around 1971-ish. Have you bothered to have a look? Have you then looked at how she then went on to treat Lisa Marie? Yeah. Honestly, do some research, mate. This is family. Yeah. Priscilla, the way she treated Elvis was disgusting, and Lisa Marie. Yes, there were good times and bad times. Yes, Elvis had good times and bad times. I'm sure Priscilla and Elvis had many happy times, but I tell you now, she was up to no good, as well as Elvis. The way she treated Lisa Marie was very selfish. Do I even have to bring up Scientology? But I agree. Priscilla and Lisa Marie had happy times as well. I know that. But it was Lisa's mum. It was Lisa Marie's mum. Let's see what you have to say.
The movie is terrible. It's over. So shut up. She was there.
See, I like his little shut up bit. I like it. His little, oh, yeah, these people try and trash me and they try and trash Priscilla. Shut up. Shut up. You are the one that should have shut up. You and your big mouth with your tabloids and trashy books to make money to stab Elvis in the back.
Presley. 10,000 sleeping pills in 6 months. Then Dr. Ghanem, Dr. Gordon, all these guys giving Elvis medications. Elvis had a little more trust in doctors that cost him his life. He didn't know that it was that powerful.
Yeah, he took 10,000 sleeping tablets and pills in 6 months. Okay, mate. Bullshit.
But he started to get it together on combinations of cocktails, and he made a bad mix that night, and that's what happened to him. Now, does that mean he's a jerk and I should hate him? And how could you say that? Listen, if you're going to love somebody, love them unconditionally. I mean, my kids, they've made mistakes, but I've loved them through it.
You've really practiced, Dave. I can really tell you that you say the same repeated things again and again and again, week in, week out in your shows, and you've been saying these things for years. How many tens of thousands of times have you repeated these same words in your little shows made for money? You're very well practiced. That's how you can speak so fast, saying the same stories over and over again wherever you go, but now mainly at Westgate. You're just repeating yourself like a parrot. You have become a trained parrot, repeating the same thing over and over again.
And I'll always be that way. But so the bad rap, Priscilla gets a bad rap. If you see Priscilla's movie, it's terrible, it's horrible. So shut up. She was there. And I was there long enough.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. She was there, so everything is
to
forgiven.
know what she was going through. I was young.
What she was going through. So they weren't both being unfaithful. Their marriage was a joke. Their engagement was a joke. Their relationship was a joke. It was both of them.
I mean, imagine being with Elvis and being trained.
Trained. So Elvis trained Priscilla. Trained. How kind of you to publicly go on a show in 2026, 46 years after one of your first trash books, a disgusting book written by your brothers and your mum that says disgusting things in it. 46 years later, here you are again, trashing Elvis.
I mean, some people might like that. And I can understand why for ladies that think he's Elvis. But she went through it. She had no
Yeah, she wasn't unfaithful, was she? She was an innocent virgin.
life. She was just locked in a capsule.
She was locked in a capsule. Sorry that I keep laughing, guys, but Priscilla was locked in. It was a prison, a gilded cage, yeah? This is the impression that Priscilla likes to give us. She just had to leave. All Priscilla had to do is walk off, walk out. Elvis was away a lot of the time. I've heard Priscilla was very busy when Elvis was away doing the movies, doing the tours. No, she was locked in a capsule.
And she broke out. And
She broke out. Priscilla had to break out. Does anyone fall for this? He clearly loves her. You're obviously infatuated with her. Mate, she's 81 now. Those days are gone. It isn't 1979 anymore. This is 2026. We know about your little skinny dipping crush you had on her.
people hate her for it. And I don't get that.
They hate her because of the way she treated Elvis. Yeah, the way she treated her own daughter. The damage she done to Elvis and Lisa Marie.
I don't understand.
You don't understand. Do some research.
But haters are going to hate.
Yeah.
So we are haters. We're haters because we want to stand up and defend Elvis. We're haters. Is that how you label it? So defending Elvis now is just being hateful. Not that we love him, want to defend him. We want the truth. We want the truth out there for Elvis, for Lisa Marie. We're haters. That's it. So me, what I'm doing now is just about hate. It's not about honoring Elvis, defending Elvis, clearing his name, trying to get people to see the truth, what really went on. You're clearly besotted by Priscilla. Let's keep going.
David, you talk about, all of that, which is valid. Priscilla, that's her life. But I want to go back to the era of like the sex, drugs.
I just want to say, guys, it's not valid. She's just said it's valid. Okay, let me just see how much we're into this interview. Right, we're nearly an hour. I'll just let her say the intro, but we're going to have to end it here, guys. No, it's not valid. I'm sorry, no offense to you girls. No, it's not valid. This is his version of events. This is David Stanley, who spent his life trashing Elvis for money, for fame, for glory. It can only be valid if it comes from Elvis's mouth. Elvis is truth. Elvis is the horse's mouth, not this guy who's trying to make money to sell his book, Surviving Elvis, who has been double-crossing, backstabbing Elvis for most of his life, said that Elvis committed suicide, said that his mother said Gladys and Vernon were intimate. This man has said many disgusting things, private things, shared many private details about Elvis that he should never have shared because Elvis would never have wanted him to. True or not, that's what this is all about, guys. This isn't just about what did happen, the true things that did happen. This is about why our family sharing private things that should have been kept private of a brother. He calls him a brother, a family member. I would never share my family's private details. True or not? This isn't about whether or not some of these things are true. This is about loyalty from a family member. There is no loyalty here. This is another attempt to create a tell-all book and make some money. I just want to hear the intro and then we're going to come back for a part 3.
Drugs and rock and roll. During that time, you were probably shaping some views of how you looked at relationships or just life and, lens versus now. But back then, did you have, you're traveling a lot. Did you have meaningful relationships, or was it mostly like short-lived interactions when you were on tour with the guys?
Well, I was raised by the wolves.
So that, I think when he says I was raised by the wolf, he means Elvis, okay?
We got on the plane, the wedding rings came off, and so after the first tour, I thought everybody had a mistress. Constitution of marriage the definition wasn't very solid. I'm far from perfect myself. I've been in and out of relationships because I had no foundation. Who loves me because I'm David or because I'm Elvis's brother?
So you had no foundation and it's Elvis's fault, yeah? Everything you did is Elvis's fault. You take zero responsibility for your own actions. You blame Elvis.
And the only way I can deal with that, and have dealt with that, and can live with that is through my faith. God's merciful and grateful. I'm also going to talk about in the book how the faith got me through.
So your faith, you're Christian, because I'm a Christian, yeah? So does your faith fit well with this interview? This interview where you go into detail about Elvis's problems with drugs, prescription medication, with women, in his marriage, that he committed suicide, that he can part the clouds, stuff that is said about his mother being intimate with Elvis. Is this part of your Christian faith? Is that what this is?
Again, the book is not about Elvis. I mean, Elvis is obviously a part of my life, but it's surviving
Lucky you.
Elvis's. For those who think everything was just perfect, it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
We loved him anyway.
All right. So you loved him anyway. Oh, poor David. So you struggled through your life, being taken out of a boarding school because you were basically abandoned by your mum. Yeah. And then your mum allegedly liked Elvis, and then he was not interested, just allegedly, not a fact. Eventually is with Vernon, marries Vernon. So the decision must have been made probably by Vernon and Elvis to help your brothers. So you, Rick, and Dave. Yeah. So you get taken out of a boarding school. You've been in there 4 or 5 months. And I know that because I've read the book, The Faith of Elvis. I've read your brother's book, Billy Stanley's book. So you felt like you were never going to be picked up. So one day you get picked up in a beautiful, is it a limousine? In a beautiful car. You get driven, chauffeur driven to Graceland, and you're a bit unsure what world you're going to walk into. And it's the world of Elvis, Graceland. You couldn't believe what was happening. Yeah. So you were given that life. You were given that life. You and your brothers and your mum have their whole world, and you say, given to them, and you say, we had to survive Elvis. We had to survive Elvis. Oh no. Oh no. We had to survive Elvis. Let's spend the rest of our days trashing him for money in books, biographies, tabloids, documentaries, interviews, magazines. It's just shocking. And in 2026, you're trashing him all over again for attention, for money, to promote your book, Surviving Elvis. You have to survive Elvis. Oh no, it must be tough.
Now, when you say mistresses, David, did you have like a girlfriend at home, or did all the guys, and then you guys had maybe a girlfriend who traveled with you, or were
most
they?
Most of them were in L.A., Vegas, rarely at home. But everybody, Elvis would say the girls can come or they don't. The wives can go or they can't. Usually that meant he's going to take somebody other than Linda or whoever. Elvis just loved women. He let people know that.
Okay, I think we can leave it at that. We know Elvis loved women. We know that he was naughty. Yeah, we know that. But why is a stepbrother, ex-stepbrother, sharing it in 2026 on a YouTube channel to thousands of people? Why? Where is the loyalty to Elvis, your stepbrother, your brother, as you keep saying? Your own words. You dig your hole with your own words. You're the one that needs to shut up. David Stanley. This is our problem. So we as fans will always stand up for Elvis. And I'm going to say what I've said in part 1. Shame on you, Dave Stanley. I wish you had shut up. And the fans will stand up for Elvis. So will I. So will Team Elvis. So will Donna Presley. So will Ginger Oldham. We're going to stand up for Elvis and his dignity. He deserves it. Lisa Marie wanted it when she was alive. She never got it. All of you trashers, whoever you are, Smith, Stanley's, Memphis Mafia, Priscilla, all of you trashers, trashed Elvis in front of his daughter, Lisa Marie Presley, for 40 years. Could you imagine how she felt? Did anyone care about her feelings? Do you right now, sat there on this YouTube channel, do you care about Elvis's feelings, Lisa's feelings? Do you care about Elvis fans' feelings that love Elvis? You clearly don't. You want to sell your new tell-all book, Surviving Elvis. Shocking. The whole thing is shocking. I just want to say, concerning the girls, those Elvis girls, I really like this channel. Those Elvis girls, I love these girls. They're great girls. I think they're out of their depth here. I will just say one thing to you girls. I would have loved it if you stepped in more often and defended Elvis more often, defended Lisa more often. Instead, you put him on a pedestal and treated him like royalty, like he was something special. He is not anything special. Just because he was a stepbrother once, you know, he isn't now because they divorced, Vernon and Dee divorced. Just because he was an important person in Elvis's life doesn't mean you have to kiss his ass. Yeah, he's not a big deal. He's no big deal. He's a traitor. I've got some pretty strong words I could use about David Stanley. He didn't deserve how well you treated him. You're decent girls, you're lovely girls. He didn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve it, guys. He's a bloody trasher. People like him shouldn't be getting a platform on YouTube to thousands of people to trash Elvis publicly. He's going to go on and say lots of disgusting, trashy things about Elvis's private life, about his problem with prescription medication, about women, and many other things about him and his Elvis and his mum Gladys. Loads and loads of things will be brought up. He will defend Priscilla. He'll defend the other trashers. He'll defend his mum. Of course he will. It's his mum. They all trashed Elvis for money. They all betrayed him and stabbed him in the back. All of them were Judas. All of them. Every one of them. That is my opinion for entertainment purposes. Nothing I say is fact. Everything I say on this show is just an entertainment show on YouTube. We're just having a discussion. That's all we're doing. But I am horrified by this. But please don't take it personally. To the 3 ladies that run this channel, nothing against you. I do think you shouldn't be giving people a platform to trash Elvis, especially if they've trashed Elvis in the past, in the last 40 years. But I'm not telling you what to do. Freedom of speech. Do what you want. Your decision. I really wish you had defended Elvis a lot more than you did. That is where I'm disappointed. Anyway, guys, love you. Team Elvis, very serious. You know, defending Elvis is serious, guys. It's dramatic. Someone's got to do it. Someone's got to do it. Right, Team Elvis, you rock. Signing out. We will be coming back for a part 3 and a part 4. Okay, love you guys. I'm hoping to do a dog walk as well. So maybe quite soon. I'm going to post this live. I'm going to join you in the comments. And then we may do a dog walk. I'm going to go and have my steak and eggs, which I'm looking forward to. And I'll see you soon. Guys, this is tough. I wish I didn't have to do this. Even with the Danny Smith thing, I wish I didn't have to do it. Someone's got to stick up for Elvis. Someone's got to stick up for Donna Presley. Get it? Someone's got to stand up for Ginger Oldham. So take care, guys. All the best. Love you. Team Elvis, you rock.